there more than 3 of you in here? If there's more than 3 of you in here, can you make something light up? Okay. Thank you.
What was that?
What was that? Greenwood, Mississippi, once a beautiful yet prosperous town, yet still a crown jewel of the Mississippi Delta. The town was at one time the biggest cotton industry that goes back from the early 1820s. Before it was called Greenwood, it was called Wilson's Landing due to the many boats that came through the Yazoo River. The Yazoo River Trail is also a really good and interesting place. Built not that long ago, though, which many visitors come to visit that park and walk and hike. It's very peaceful and very unique and secluded as you go further and further on the trail, especially in the perimeter trail. Old Greenwood Cemetery, one of the most oldest cemeteries in Greenwood itself. This right now, though, has less bodies than it did before, thanks to the new cemetery, but some bodies are still buried there, and some unmarked. If you want to know more on Greenwood's history, then stop by the Museum of the Mississippi Delta, just off Highway 45 West. There they have collections of Indian artifacts, old prehistoric fossils, and a timeline of Greenwood's pernicious history. Or, if you have Facebook, then you can join the group's page, is Greenwood, Mississippi, Then and Now, founded by a town historian, Will Perkins. But also in the artifacts room, though, is quite very, very interesting. Besides the Indian artifacts that they found all around in the Delta. But most importantly, something very interesting and very unique. And it lives, or once did, the woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth of the Delta, or what's left of it. What a magnificent sight. This marvelous, wonderful architecture. This magnificent courthouse. Before the Greenwood County Courthouse was put here on this ground, though, this land was used for many, many things. One of which, though, when the Choctaws were here, this land, though, this particular spot, is where they hold their trials and executions. During those times, though, what they did on their executions was using a means of how they could put an end for the torment, is what they call a death dart. What they did was they strip off, bare-chested, the native, place a chalk marked X where his heart is, and use a blow dart, what they call a death dart, and execute. It's one of the many secrets forgotten secrets and forgotten part of history that this town had forgotten. One of which I dug up, though, down in the archives of the library, or the National Archives to be exact, and found the information there, which was totally interesting for a subject view. We're here, though, again, though. This time we're at the front of the monument here that was placed here at the courthouse back here also back here in the mid-1900s. Before this thing is this wonderful monument was placed here, though, this is where they had public executions. So, public executions at the time. The execution post where they hung people from used to be in this exact same spot. Now, when they finally completed the monument, though, they put the execution podium, they moved it from right behind it. But later on, throughout the years, though, they started doing the public executions, and they did them in a more private setting. But this was like before everybody was so bored at the time, though they had nothing else to do, so why not watch people get executed right on the spot? Another thing about this particular spot, this is where I discovered that there are 3 ley lines that join here. Yes, that's right, ley lines. These ley lines represents Earth's energy fields. Not only that, but spirits usually travel far distances as well to use these lines. One of which, the main line that runs through here, the north and south range from this tip here, is the New Orleans ley line. Now, as you can see, though, this is the only way you can mark it, though. People who are sensitive to these locations, or they can use a pendulum to tell where it's at. Now, where I'm standing on right here, though, will be the New Orleans ley line. The only way you can detect it, though, if you don't have an ability to detect it right, just use a pendulum, like I said before. Now watch. As it goes straight like this, straight up and down like this, it indicates, though, that I am right here on the New Orleans ley line. Now, the other 2 ley lines, now that's a little bit tricky. The other 2 I named them, which is called the Natchez ley line and the Cleveland ley line. No, excuse me, not Cleveland, Clarksdale ley line, sorry. Now, to get this, though, it forms like a crisscross section. Now, I discovered one of these lines, which is what we call the Clarksdale ley line. Now, this Clarksdale ley line, if I'm correct, though, was also a cut corner between where we investigated the coffee shop haunting. Now, this is the location here, and it should be fit. Like I said before, this is the Clarksdale ley line. This is here. You can tell when the mark starts moving, I'm not moving it, it's just moving on its own. This is the Clarksdale ley line. Yeah. As you see that, though, folks, as I say, the pendulum goes back and forth, back and forth. I'm not moving it. Yeah, am I moving it? No. It's moving on its own. It indicates that right here we're going to these ley lines form. Now, the other one, which is my favorite one of all, and that is the Natchez ley line. Now, the Natchez ley line is going to come up on this other section here. Now, the Natchez ley line cuts corners from the Yazoo River Trail. It goes through the Methodist Church, that's right, just right down that way, and it cuts through most of the library. And one thing, it also cuts right in the middle of the old theater. Yes, the old playhouse where our friend Lewis was at. Was at. So, make sure my correction here. So, this is where exactly it'll be right here. Like I said, this is the Natchez ley line. And they all meet here at the center. Right here. They all connect. Which is very incredible, yes. Now these ley lines can inadvertently cause a lot of distortions, many of which, though we saw before, though, seen entities come out of them from cameras like for such from the coffee house incident. And of course, seeing them coming off from point of view from the CCTV camera over at the playhouse, how they come off it. It's a very interesting find, though. Still, not just the ley lines, but also you got 3 rivers here as well. You got the Yalabushi River and the Tallahatchie River that forms the Yazoo River. Now you talk about a powerhouse worth of energy. If you were looking for a haunted location, this town is it. It's very active and will remain active always and forever. Stop. Well, we're at the spot though where part of the Natchez ley line comes through. As you can see right behind, we turn around there, that is the old Methodist church there, which the Natchez ley line goes right through it, part of their auditorium. And it comes out, turn back around. Over in this direction here, it goes through that direction, just more at an angle point. Now, before the library was here, this is the new library. The old one is right there, but this is the new one. Before the new library was established here, there was a house, but this house in particular, though, was originally the old funeral home. Wilson and Knight Funeral Home stood here. The only thing that's left now is that old brick building there, what used to be the embalming room. I know, right? Now it's a lawyer's office. Kind of crazy, isn't it? And also, at one time, it was used as an apartment, too. So you could imagine, the point was that, okay, we hear stuff late at night. I don't know what that is, but I'm moving my ass out. I'm getting out, I'm going that way. Kind of creepy, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Thank goodness it's just a lawyer's office. Well, the funeral home, when they moved out, though, to their new location, the house was still here. So, what took its place was the original Cotton Landing Museum before it became the Museum of the Mississippi Delta. That housed all sorts of artifacts. It was magnificent. It was a 3-story house, so it had all the room it needed. So you can imagine having that ley line going right through a funeral home and then became a museum with a bunch of artifacts. That gives you on the plus side saying, I wonder if they had anything strange there, that's why they relocated. There's a possibility, but I don't know. If it happened, it happened, but that was before my time. But now, as the library stands in place, is the library haunted? Not really. The energy levels have all died or desist. They died off. The energy levels are down, very low. So it's not haunted as they might think it is, or some people claim, but it's not. The only thing that have high residual energy, that will be over at the old Playhouse Theater, which is a couple of just way straight on down. So yeah, that has more activity than anywhere else. There are quite more haunted locations that we have discovered in the past 2 years. The coffee shop ghost in which Jerry the Shadow Entity lives. Then we have the Yazoo River Trail that has spirits hidden within the woods. These spirits, such as, we had like many dozens, orb sightings. A lot of it is not just dust, but real actual orbs. Then we have shadow people as well, including the thing in the woods that still roams within those woods at night. But also, over at the old Greenwood Cemetery, we discovered the blue-headed specter. The blue-headed specter, as you see here, though, right there on your top left corner. But there's so much more to this town, so much more history, and so much hidden secrets as well, old secrets, that are still trying to come up to the surface, if they possibly can. But one secret in particular, there's something more to. I still remember on those nights when we first encountered Lewis at the playhouse in the town of Greenwood. The first night, which was back in November of 2021, there was me, Nicole, Katie, and Taylor. We did the tour around the place. The wardrobe room, in which the control booth was just on top of it, which had little activity but still interesting, even with the clothes they collected and made for their plays. The activity that started to get high was in the auditorium and stage, thus getting closer to the props room. There were times that the EMF reader would go off, also with the digital laser thermometer. The thermometer would go off in the section of the rows of the seats in the auditorium, and the temperature will go down every 1 degree and stop. Then, what the normal room temperature is, indicating that we were being watched. Now, with me just on the stage, I heard something that scared me senseless. When I asked it a question, I had a physical response.
You're not from Italy. You're not from here. You want to spread fear. Oh. Alright. What the what? Shit! Fuck! 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 Oh, shit.
Dean, you okay?
What?
On the second and third night, I had Dorothy and Dale with me, so we could figure out what this entity is by going over areas in the props room and see where it lead us to find answers. We went back into the wardrobe as well, and where Dale went under the seats and had a run-in with a guardian that is protecting the ley line, which it grabbed him. This is recorded. Do you have a name? On the stage, we have contact with the entity that made that noise from the first night.
No name?
Which had given its name to us.
I heard the same thing she heard,
Do you have a name? Lewis. Lewis?
That's what I heard too.
So on the third night, Lewis did something that we would never
Which
suspect.
ones?
It's darker in there. Didn't it?
Yeah. Those lights did go out. Taylor's not in the booth because that's usually controlling the main front lines of the stage.
Yes.
Can you turn the lights back on, please?
Off in the auditorium and stage, which there was no bad wiring, nor there wasn't a fuse that had
Oh no,
broken.
no.
Okay.
When we started to leave,
Well, I think it's probably
Lewis
time
gave
to
us a
leave.
proper
Yeah.
send-off.
Because,
I think I got what I needed for our encore.
yeah.
So I'll be going over more of that footage and piece it all together, and that'll scare the hell out of everyone known to man, I think, even me.
Turn you off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit!
What is Lewis? Well, from the beginning of this whole thing, I wonder first if Lewis isn't a person, rather it named itself because of an ability it has. I broke down the name of Lewis, which there was 3 if I switched the words around. Lies, lie, and Willis. Willis stuck out more, which is an ability of manipulation that something demonic would have had. But on the next night, with a special guest that I invited from Corinth, Mississippi, it made me rethink the situation. April 2022. It has been 3 months since going back to the Playhouse. 3 months since we wrapped up Season 1 of our web series and started a national phenomenon on our Facebook site. I want to know more about Lewis and want information that could help us understand what sort of situation we are dealing with. So I called my contact from Corinth, Mississippi, Holly Wolfgang, who happens to run Southern Phantom Chasers. I was out on an investigation with them up in Tennessee, which was good and exciting to be part of a joint investigation like that.
Oh, I forgot I got a video record.
Yeah, you do. And I'm having trouble over here. Because whenever I push the, take the picture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's just closing right out. Why?
Okay, well I'm going to start. Ooh, notice we're all
Oh, there we go.
3 devices going off.
You need to
Regular
come on.
K2, flashlight, and digital K2. Thank you so
Look
much.
at my EMF reader's going off too.
I mean no disrespect. I'm here just to learn about you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Go dark. Go dark.
But my name is Holly. I'm going to start by introducing myself because I don't want to step into your territory without introducing myself. But my name is Holly.
Careful behind you.
This is Sharon.
Hello.
We are part of Southern Phantom Chasers. I have a few people here with me that I'm sure you've met before. Y'all might want to say I got the question answered, or the reply answered.
You
Yeah.
got the power. Oh, there's the flashlight.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you know Dean and some of the other faces around here. I'm going to ask you some questions, and when I ask some questions, if you would, I just want you to make something light up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you turn it back off? Thank you. Are you a man? A male? Are you a female?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Are you a child? Okay, well let's confirm. Are you over the age of 10? If you're over the age of 10, can you make something light up? Okay, so if you're a child, I brought something here that you might find that's interesting, and I'm going to show it to you.
I'll be right back. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I brought a bear,
It's almost to be ready.
and you don't have to be a child, you can be an adult, but look, if you touch the wire on it, it lights up. It's really neat. I see you already know how to operate everything else. I also have a little circle box back here. If you touch the stick on it, it'll light up and make sounds, but nothing here will harm you in any way. Look, I walked closer and it said distance.
Yeah.
Distance. Won't you keep the distance?
I'm sorry, I did not mean to get into your space. Thank you. Did you used to stay here a good bit in this building?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you work in this building? You did. Thank you. Did you work on the wood? We got some blades. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's all blurry. It's like something's getting in my lens.
Is there more than just one of you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a little bit more. There are more than two of you in here. There's more than two of you in here. Can you make something light up? Thank you. I have some little balls in here too. If you would touch them, they will light up as well. Thank you. I understand. Is there more than three of you in here? If there's more than three of you in here, can you make something light up? Okay. Thank you.
What was that?
What was that?
What is that?
What is that? That's the motion sensor light. The motion sensor off the camera's going off. Off the camera.
Thank you. If you'll walk next to the device I have in the floor, it has sticks coming out of it and they'll change colors as you get next to it also. It'll make a little bit of noise, but it won't hurt you. Am I talking with a boy now? Look down.
Oh.
Okay. Are you 10 years and younger? Or younger than 10 years? I guess I didn't word that right.
That interview was good and it helped us out as well. On the handheld, we had to turn it off a few times to save battery energy, since that whole building likes to drain them out. But we also had confirmation that Lewis was present the whole entire time, but the spirits that we interviewed stated that Lewis is not a threat, but somehow protective. Most of them are not from here as well. Most of them were attached to the props and the line. And some, these spirits, are possibly over 100 years old, if not more. So by guessing, Lewis, if he was human while alive, he would fit that category as well. Which means it's time to start digging from the land, the county, and even when the state was just territory. But let us investigate the CCTV footage and see what we got. as you can tell, when back over here, you'll see that sometimes these orbs will sometimes go onto the stage, though, from the auditorium and from the ley line onto the stage. As I play over here and watch. See right there, there's one right there. It's really interesting, though. And we'll have past this one too. Now, let me pause and go back here. Now watch these two videos here. I figured out something, though. That these orbs travel through a vortex. This vortex, at that time, is just about right over in this section here. And right over, that comes out right over here. Just right behind this area. See? One goes up that way. It's really interesting how this thing goes. How they all interconnect to one another. I was quite surprised myself by just seeing this happen. There goes another orb. Now to get that full encounter, that went blank again. The reason why, though, the motion stopped, though, because there's no orbs passed through it. Passed by the camera. Or what's on the stage that they're going for right now. But they'll pop back up here, again, when it reached to about 9:47 in the second area, around the seconds. So one coming up that way. And this will pop back up right here. And there's still more orb activity right in this area. Just flying around. Now watch. As you might see, one of those orbs go traveling up and it comes back out right there. So you see, folks, the reason why I'm being is that it was very active, highly active, with multiple orbs, multiple action sequences, which is very interesting. August 2022. Knowing that the building will be bought, and if not sooner by someone else, we had to do something before it's too late, and that is doing a deep cleansing and confront Lewis. That way he can go back to the line or transcend to the other side, along with the other spirits that reside there. We're here on our last case here, for here at the old theater at the Whittington Junior Playhouse, to do a closing, and also we're here to make sure that we do a proper cleansing before anything else that might happen. We're just doing one last grand tour of this area here. Everything seems to be in order. Nothing has changed since the last time that we were here. Everything is still in place. Everything where we left it last time. The most key areas that we will be that we will be closing, though, since we know exactly where they're coming from, and that is going to be from here to the auditorium, on the stage, to the props room. We figured out that there is, in fact, a gateway. This gateway, first off, there's the line, the ley line, before we get to the gateway. The ley line lays right underneath the auditorium seats themselves, which is the Natchez ley line. They come off, and most of them will either come up at a high angle up through here, disappear, and make their way within 4 seconds to the other side which is the props room. Which we're going into now. Now everything seems so calm at first, which is a good thing, which is really good. I think when I place that crystal here, though, a bloodstone, I place the props room, I think it helps some of it to calm down because I'm not feeling anything. Are you feeling anything? Everything is still calm, very calm, which is a good sign. Maybe it will remain calm. So yes, this will be the last point, though, for this investigation. I'm glad that everyone that helped out on this case, thank you very much for those who helped and volunteered, that dedicated for this project. I'm very thankful for. We're going to begin here, though, with the cleansing. Then work our way to the stage and to the auditorium. And then we put it to a final close. With a lot of research and digging, I've come across a name which probably makes a whole lot of sense. When I confronted Lewis with his full name, he remembered. His name was Lewis, not Lewis L-E-W-I-S, but Captain Lewis Durant. Going over researchers and historical records, along with the Mississippi Department Archives, Captain Lewis Durant was a Canadian-French trader, explorer, and war veteran of 1812. He married into the Choctaw tribe that resides at the time in Mississippi, when it's just a territory. He was also friends of Louis Lafleur, who was also a French explorer, and he was the father of Choctaw Indian chief and state legislator Greenwood Lafleur. When I questioned Louis Durant if he still knows his friend Louis Lafleur by using a pendulum, the response was yes. I also stated if Louis weren't a cleansing of a blessing to help him go back to the line or cross over, and his response was yes. So we proceeded with the plan. We used white sage to perform the rite, and since we know what areas are the highest of activity, we first did the props room. We did the stage, where the vortex is at that connects to the props room. Then finally the auditorium. Me and Nicole went back around and noticed the place is now quiet and calm. The spiritual energy has died down. The spirits, and including Louis Durant, are gone. The place is cleansed. The only thing that is still and remain active is the Natchez line, which more spirits could come through, but the ones that were there are gone. But this still raised a question. What brought Louis Durant here in the first place? Since he didn't die here, it was the territory that made him come back, because even in death, he was still tied to this land. But now that he is gone, he is in the next place for exploring the other side, and the rest of the spirits to follow, so they can join their loved ones that they once missed. Case closed.